Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And SHARPAL, a company that makes outstanding knife sharpeners and knife support tools, has got a new field sharpener. They call this the TRANSFOROD. Again, an alliterative play on words, kind of like SHARPAL. But here we go. Let's take a close look at it because this thing is next level and it's going to push some of the other sharpening tools to have to up their game. So first of all, SHARPAL has made all kinds of assistants or tools that are designed to help you learn primarily blade angles, but then also the support materials of ceramic, of steel, diamond grit, and leather, like in this SHARPAL strop, which I just absolutely love. And so they come out with this thing. This is a handle that has on the inside, if you pop these two little pieces here, you can slide off the back. And then this thing comes out, which is two strops, a fine strop, I mean think of that, and a coarser strop, ceramic, and different diamonds. So inside here, there are more choices. So I can dump all this out so you can see I've got different diamonds. Here's a fine diamond. Pull that one out and show you. This is a 1000 grit or about 15 micron. This one that's 325 grit is about 45 micron. Then it's got ceramic stones. It has a serration sharpener. I'll show you how to use that, as well as a fish hook sharpener. All of these are inside this. Can screw on the cap here, and then this entire piece then screws on to the end here. Now, even more than this, once it's on here, you tighten it on, you have got these ramps. Now, the ramps are common. Here's one of my other favorite. This is a work sharp that is branded by Benchmade, and it's got a 20-degree ramp here on all four sides. That's all you get is 20 degrees, even here across the ceramic. 20 degrees, pretty common, but what if you have something a little bit more precise? Well, obviously, SHARPAL is interested in something more than just your standard 20 degree. And in fact, here's what you got. You got 15 to 30. And the way you adjust this is simply you turn this knob here. Let's say I wanted to go to 20. I could turn this and then line up the mark right there to 20 degrees, and then these ramps correspond to the angle the knife needs to engage the sharpening surface. You obviously go reverse on strops so that it doesn't need it, but there are two ramps, and I'm going to show you how that can work, but overall that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because kitchen knives are different than field knives, which are different than larger tools. Even axes or hatchets you could use this for. And of course you can, because of the handle, you can use it like a traditional kind of a long steel or something if you're working with a larger implement where you move the sharpener instead of the item to be sharpened. On the back side, in the storage compartment, if I put this cap back in, I'm going to show you this before I forget, there is a broadhead wrench. If you don't know what a broadhead is or don't use them, basically if you are an archery hunter, you would use a broadhead like this one, which I am, and I could just drop this in. It will line up with some of these holes or these cutouts here, and when it does, that allows me to remove the broadhead safely because you don't want to just grab these things. They are incredibly sharp, and that's the whole point as I grab it. And it's a point. Wow. Anyway, enough of this. So I'm going to set that aside over here just to stay safe. So let's take a close look at how this works. I've got essentially two equal ceramics on it. The potential for two equal ceramics. Let me show you why you might want that. And in fact, if I dump all these out, show you about this, depending on how you want to use it. So I've got two tracks here that can take steels or ceramics. What I might want to do, if I need mild use, not super light use, but not heavy use, I can put the 1,000 or 15 micron diamond pieces in here. Now, I could do one of each, say one coarse, one fine, or I could do a fine and a ceramic. But if I'm using a tool, and this is how I've learned to sharpen, I could either line it up and follow it on both sides, so I'm keeping it even, just like that. You can see I'm lining it up, and then I'm sliding it across the sharpener, or the sharpening surface, at that same angle. And I can do that down here. Now I'm used to that, so I could go pretty quick this way to get things, especially kitchen knives, up to whatever my sharpening standard is. And then I could swap it out. Maybe I'll go to ceramic at this point. I could do both ceramics. I can also drop in one ceramic right in here. Slide that guy in there. And then I could do a ceramic. I could start out with my diamond, but what do I do now? Well, I've got to switch hands, to get that. Sometimes you can use it in this downward configuration, so you're maintaining that angle. And then I could switch to the ceramic side. Just swapping hands here. I find it easier to drop these out and put in the ones that I want, get it to that level, and then move on. And then finally the stropping, I could strop with the coarser side and then strop with the finer side, to get that up to whatever. Now, I also have serrations. What do you do there? Well, this comes off, of course, and then this tapered one screws in. This is a diamond here. It feels like the coarser diamonds. I'm assuming it's a 325 here, or 45 micron. And then I could bring my serrations back into fighting shape. There are other SHARPAL or SHARPAL, basically different kinds of sharpeners that I've used. This is the carbide and the ceramic and the fixed V-shape angle. A lot of people are avoiding these. This is kind of like an emergency, where you will take off a lot of metal, but it will get it sharpened if you absolutely have to. And then, of course, this one's got the taper there. This would be for fish hooks or anything small like metal wire that you wanted to sharpen up. Others, I'll just show you. This is always been one of my go-tos. Falkniven is one of my favorite knife companies. But if I add this SHARPAL angle pyramid to it, then what I can do is line up exactly the angle that I need, assuming I've got that angle. And I might need to measure the angle, so that's when I'd use a tool like this if I had to figure out what it is. This one's designed to go on a whetstone. Other Falknivens, I love these little flip stones. I don't know if they still make them, but it's got a ceramic piece on top and then the diamond, gold diamond on the bottom in this fairly cool thing. They come in 2 different sizes. So I could use those for field sharpeners. For my fanboy tendencies, I might want to go with the CRKT branded snap-on one I've done a video on. This has always been kind of my go-to, and it does have other, because of this, it does rotate to different ceramic surfaces, but it does not have a variable guide. And I've got these large plates, and sometimes you want something small, something that you can get in. I could do an axe with this because I know the angle and work with it. And it all stores, and it's adjustable. And I could use it with broadheads, I guess, if I wanted to. But overall, I'm impressed with this guy. It's, I believe, under 40 bucks, which is a good price for something like this. Very well made. And it can take your own field sharpening to a whole new level. I use larger stones when I'm in my office or in my shop, but for field sharpening you really need something. Now let me show you one other thing. This is a little bonus. This video is getting long, I know, but watch this. Originally I realized I wanted to know if I could adjust the tension on this, and so inside here, let's see if I've got a let me turn that on. Inside there is a screw way down at the bottom. You see that? Okay, I wanted to play with that, and I realized I can easily adjust it, and that's another reason for using a fixed screwdriver, even though I've got a ratcheting mechanism, is to feel what's going on with that, because I need to be able to tension that screw how I want, so I can feel it there. But if I pull it all the way off and it falls out, and this also happens in other outdoor activities you might have discovered as far as working with different things where the screw can come out. You can see this is all loosening up. I did take it apart, just wanted to kind of get a better feel for how the thing worked. But if I've got this screw all the way out and my mechanism falls apart just like that, in order to get that screw back up in there, wherever it went, it's still in there. There it is. I might try to put it on the screw or on the fastener and balance, on the bit and balance it. Now it might fall out. Well, that's why you use these diamond bits. That's one of their uses. So I've got the Vera set of diamond bits here. I can drop that in, and then I can wedge that screw on there. It's on there pretty tight. Look at that. So I can easily hold that. I can realign this. In order to align this piece here, you have to, first of all, put this on. This is the turning mechanism here. Find a line, how it lines up. Right there. And then you see that little orange mark there? That has to be the indicator here, so that tells you where this goes. But then remember, I've got my screw on. Look at that. Nice and tight. I can drop it right in, and then I can zip it up. That's why you have this knurling. That's why I think knurling should be on anything. And what I can do is, as I get this so I feel a little tension, I can start to move this as I'm turning it. So I can get enough resistance that it'll hold still, but also enough, or not enough, so I can easily turn it. And there you go. So if I want to just leave it in the operational position here, pop the cap. Can drop this right down the center there, and then if I'm going to do a ceramic and a fine diamond there, so the rest of these all just drop right in to be stored. Outstanding. I'm always happy to work with new sharpeners, and SHARPAL really has delivered. So there it is, the SHARPAL TRANSFOROD, a good field sharpener for pretty much any edge tool. And with that, Doc out.